Hello and welcome to Miss Charlotte Astrology. My name is Charlotte. I'm a full-time working astrologer, and on this channel I analyze the astrological charts of public figures, and very often they are celebrities, and that certainly is the case today. I'll be analyzing the Sinistry chart of Nicola and Luke Newton, the stars of Bridgerton, specifically season 3, because this is their season to be the main couple, and I am very invested. I tried to watch the first 2 seasons. I'm gonna try and get into it again, but my ADHD, it's slow. Even with all the sexy scenes, it's slow. But this season kept me enthralled, so I'm invested. Nicola and Luke, they've been doing press tours, and their chemistry is chemistry-ing. It is happening. Like, these two look like they're hot for each other. And they keep saying it's because they're really good friends, which I believe, but there has to be something there. There has to be something there. I'm sorry, that carriage scene, that looked too real. Anyway, before I dive in, I just want to let you guys know a few things. I'm talking like this, like ASMR styles, because I am recovering from a flu, and the reason why I can even get up here right now is because I'm on a lot of flu medication. I actually currently have like a cup of really hot medication. Literally, it's full of Lemsip. Tastes terrible, but it does the job. So yeah, my voice, it cracks very easily, and it hurts. It feels like I've swallowed razor blades, and I can't risk it. So I'm gonna speak like this in a softer, lower register. So I hope you don't mind. Yeah. Oh, and I have to remind you, I do have my special continuing through to July, but only for the MP3 readings. My 60-minute one-on-one readings have sold out. I need to go on my sabbatical really soon. Clearly, my body is starting to shut down. I'm getting very, very tired. And I love what I do, but work is work, and I do need to take a break. The readings that you purchase, all the money most of it is going to go straight to my student debt, what's left of it, and I'd be highly appreciative if you could support me in my endeavors to remove this debt from my life so I can move on. Thank you so much, and I appreciate all of you that have already invested your money into this. But I am willing to work for that money. I'm very, very grateful. So thank you so much for your support thus far. Okay, let's have a look at Nicola and Luke's Sinistry chart. So this is the chart. Nicola is the inner circle. She's the blue planet, and Luke is the outer circle with the red planets. I do not have their time of birth. So I mean, I know that you don't have the full chart unless you have the time of birth. I know that. That's why I'm going to keep that at the front of my mind. If we do find a birth time for either of them or just one of them, I will make amendments happily. But for now, we're just going to look at the planetary aspects and see how what the energies are. It would really help to have the houses, but we're going to do the best we can. Okay. So Nicola, you can see here, she is a Capricorn, Sun and Mercury. She has a Venus in Sagittarius, which is spicy. She has a Mars in Aries and a Taurus moon. And Luke, he is the sweetest awkward Aquarius sun, and he's an Aquarius Mercury as well. His Venus is in Aries, and his moon and Mars are in Cancer. So that is them all there. Let's move down, shall we? Okay. Impulsive urges, the Mars-Venus conjunction in Aries. Okay, so I don't think it's actually delulu to believe that these two at some point have hooked up. These two are familiar with each other at the very least. I mean, we've all seen literal full footage of his hand on her boobie. Okay? That is a hand on a boobie. Okay? The Venus and Mars conjunction. Am I to believe that a Venus and Mars conjunction in Aries is not going to be impulsive and have a tussle in the hay? Am I to believe that they're just going to resist each other? When I saw this Sinistry chart, the first thing I thought was, oh, they're fucked. In fact, even if they are friends, even if they're just friends, this is sexual chemistry. This is the smoking gun. They've done it. I'm sorry. Also, Nicola's nodal return is happening right now. She's an 87 baby. All you guys born in 87. You guys are having your nodal return. So the nodal return happens like every like 19, 20 years, 18, 20 years, and it happens when you're 19, 20, and then it happens again when you're like 37, 38. She's going through that right now. That's why she's hitting it really big. North Node, in Aries that's the pioneer. That's the one that does things differently, right? I don't know where it is in her chart, but that node of return is well underway now. She's halfway through it. And because her Mars is also here, and Mars is the phallus, it literally rules Aries, this is an ambitious placement. This is her getting out of her Libra South node, getting out of the wallflower mode, and becoming a leader. And becoming the it girl. She is the it girl. Now, to have Luke's Venus, which is a feminine, it's a feminine planet, to have this lying here makes this easier. He is supportive, he is kind, he is friendly, and if you look at the interviews, you notice that she's much more talkative. She's much more masculine and loud in that sense, and he's very much the more quiet, introverted one who enjoys that she can take the lead, even though he is obviously the man. And obviously in the series he takes the manly, that manly role where he instigates the carriage scene and such. When it comes to their chemistry in real life, she's the one that actually calls the shots and is brave, and a lot more brave and outgoing than he is, and he likes that about her. That's the thing he's truly attracted to. I mean, Mars is the phallus, it's the pee-pee. Venus is the heart. When those two are sitting together, I mean, guys, ancient Roman and Greek mythology, Venus and Mars, Aphrodite and Aries, they get together. Like, this is attraction, and this attraction is going to take her to stardom. Like, their chemistry is catapulting both of them into fame. So it's really, it's sexy. It's a very sexy placement. I mean, I watched an interview and they did confirm that in private they practice kissing. Could you imagine? No wonder in that carriage scene they got carried away the way they did and they lost track of time. It's because they liked it. They liked making out, guys. And I think I wouldn't be surprised if they've done a hell of a lot more than that in their offset time together, for sure. So there we go. Next slide. Wholesome love, nasty sex, the Cancer Taurus placement. So they actually have a very, very compatible moon placement. So not only are their Mars and Venus in a conjunction, their moons are in sextiled signs. So she's an earth moon, he's a water moon, both feminine moons, both introverted moons. The Cancer moon's at home. The Taurus moon is exalted. They both love the indoors. They love the finer things, and I'm not surprised that they have such a connection, and they can be cozy together. I think a lot of their time spent together is doing one-on-one things. I know that they're on set with a lot of people, but in order to get to know each other, they've had to spend a lot of one-on-one time together, and that's what the Taurus and Cancer moons prefer. I even watched an interview where she talks about how, they'll be on set or they'll be in a place where there's lots of people and they'll like run off together to find some time alone together just to try and get away from everyone. So this is really, really sweet. I mean, water moon and an earth moon, it's sextiled energy. I know, like, degree wise, if they're not joining up here with the blue line, but they are very compatible moons. I mean, I wish they were together. Look how cute they look together as well. Like, they just seem very calm with each other. Now, I wish I knew where these were placed, because this Lilith, it does Look, the dark destructive feminine sitting on his Mars. His Mars is retrograde. He's got a very feminine Mars. He's a very emotional, introverted person. I do think if he has sex, he falls in love. I think like if Mars is in a sensitive sign like this, then sex and love are so intermingled. I think, and you know, with the previous placements, even with this Venus Mars conjunction, he and his Mars in Cancer, I do think that if they have been intimate, sexually intimate, I reckon he's the one who's likely to get attached out of the two. I think Nicola is a seasoned pro. She's a seasoned pro. She's a Venus in Sagittarius. She's a Capricorn. She's incredibly practical she's very practical when it comes to love and the world and sex and things like that. It wouldn't surprise me if she was like, why don't we just do this thing and we can get it out of the way? Like, I wouldn't be surprised at all. So I think there is love there. I think there is love between the two of them. If they have been intimate, he loves her just a smidge more. Like, he's always going to feel that connection towards her. Yeah, it would really help if I had like these houses, because the Chiron is not far by. Yeah, but yeah, they're just lovely placements. I think he's also someone who's prone to inaction. He gets nervous. Yeah, he needs a lot of soothing. He needs a lot of care. Have you seen footage of him when they were in a big crowd? I think they were taking a publicity photo with all the cast. And once they all broke up, he's like looking around for her, like, where is she? And he runs up to her and he grabs her hand. He needs a lot of soothing. He's so introverted and awkward. He's a beautiful boy, but he's kind of an awkward nerd. So, yeah. He's very endearing. Finding direction. Nicola's Sagittarius stellium conjunct Luke's north node. Well, it's not a conjunction, but it's there. So not only is Luke's Venus on her north node, her Venus is on his north node with a bunch of other planets. Nicola's someone who's going to, if she hasn't already, fall in love later in life. A Venus in Sagittarius needs to experiment. It can be rather impulsive. She's also someone that is a bit of a late bloomer when it comes to, you know, her beauty, like people appreciating her beauty and her appreciating her own beauty. It takes time. The placement of Saturn here amongst the Venus and also with Uranus, she's an odd beauty, but she's very beautiful. There's something very ethereal about her, but it's the kind of beauty that isn't appreciated until it comes to a certain point in her life, and that point is now. After the age of 30, pushing 40, she's now perceived as being a very attractive person. So the Saturn-Uranus placement here with the Venus makes a lot of sense. I do think... I think she knows how to play the field. I really do think that. I think she's a lot more sexually confident. She is a bit older than Luke. She's like 6 years older than Luke. So I think she... I mean, Sagittarius, they know how to play that field. She knows how to play that field. You'd think because, you know, he's so pretty and no, he's awkward. He's a very awkward boy, and he's very fresh in his fame. And I think she's much more seasoned in the world of film and TV and yeah, she's a lot more confident than he is. I do think that being in her presence is pushing him towards his north node. Like, he kind of needs her. He doesn't have a planet in Sagittarius that makes it easier to achieve this north node. He has some nice aspects, yes, but being with Nicola is very comforting, and he will know her for the rest of his life. I'm going to put it out there and say I would not be surprised if they get together later on in life, let's just say they're both in their 40s or their 50s and they realise that they were always meant to be together, much like on the show Bridgerton, I wouldn't, it takes them a while to get together. I would not be surprised if life imitates the art. That always happens. That's why you got to be careful of what you sing, because what you sing and what you write, it manifests. It's a very powerful thing. And if you look at this show and how this show plays out, I wouldn't be surprised if that is mimicked in their real lives and they end up together at some point. But is that me being delulu? Maybe. I don't care because I'm trying to manifest it. I want them to be together. Is that selfish of me? Oh well. They seem like they'd be so cute together. They'd be so right together. But yes, being with Nicola helps him get to Sagittarius, which is all about, spiritual expansion, intellectual expansion, experimentation. It's international, right? It's very worldly. His south node is in Gemini, which is all like, that small town, that small community, London, England. Did he grow up in London? I don't know, but he was a local of London for a while. But now he's going to expand out into the whole world and become what Nicola refers to as the internet's boyfriend. Like, it's very international. I would love to know what house this north node is in. It's going to tell me a lot more, but for now I can just see him going into this ever expansive career and just doing really, really well with this. And Nicola's going to be with him, I think, the whole way, even if maybe not in a romantic context, but in a platonic friendship way. Yes, I think she's always going to be there for him, which is why I want them to get together, because they have such a good friendship. Look at them, they look so right together. I need a drink. A practical fantasy? Capricorn stellium conjunction. Okay. I said that both times. So these are generational planets. So Uranus, Neptune's over here. Her Uranus is over here. Actually, yeah, her Uranus is on his north node as well. I didn't see that in the previous shot. So what we have here is is a collection of planets. Two of these are personal planets to Nicola, her Sun and her Mercury. She's very intuitive, by the way. Nicola's psychic. Nicola is a late bloomer, but she always knew she'd be successful. She always knew. Because of this conjunction with Neptune, anyone who has a Capricorn placement, like a Sun or a Moon, a Venus, even like Mercury, to have it in a conjunction with Neptune makes you incredibly intuitive. She's been in this career, in this game, for years. But like the little mountain goat, like the little Capricorn she is, she climbed to the top of that goddamn mountain and now she's there. Yeah, so kudos to her, congrats to her. She has this conjunction with his Neptune and Uranus. He has no personal placements in Capricorn, but this cluster here, it just magnifies that power. So this is, I mean, it's iconic. It's literally like the planets of iconography all clustered together with these personal planets. She is actually leveraging more fame. She's actually gaining more fame through her relationship with him. He'll be super famous. He's going to get really big, but at the moment she is becoming an it girl. She is becoming the icon. I mean, the Sun and Mercury are the personal planets here. So she's the one who's being slingshot launched into the stratosphere with through this coupling, through this professional coupling with Luke. So this is quite nice. I wish I knew what house this was in. It would tell me so much more. As I'm talking, my voice is getting more raw, so I've got to be careful. The late bloomer, Luke's Aquarius stellium. So Luke has a Sun, Saturn, and Mercury with Pallas Athena all clustered together. When this show came out, it was the beginning of 2020, which would have been the very beginning of his Saturn return. That's when he hit it big, when he was around 30. He's been working at this for a while. He's a late bloomer. He's so baby faced. I can't believe, like, I was watching the bit of the previous, like, the first 2 seasons. He looks so, like, he's got that puppy fat on his face. He looks like he's like 17 or 18. Like, it's wild that the boy was 30 at the time. But yeah, he is a late bloomer, and as he gets older, he's going to come into his looks a bit more. He'll be a very distinguished, as Penelope describes him, very distinguished man as he gets older. He's kind of awkward. I don't know if people really pick up on that because he is so handsome, but if you watch him in press, you know, in interviews and press conferences, he kind of doesn't know what to do. He always looks to Nicola. And it's because he's just the weird Aquarius, which I find very endearing. He's not pretentious in that usual Aquarian way. He's kind of like that lost little boy kind of energy is really endearing to me because he is so beautiful. So, yeah, I like that. And she also, Nicola, because they're both Saturnian people. He's an Aquarius, she's a Capricorn. They're both ruled by Saturn. They come into their careers later on in life. When he gets to his nodal return, which is quite a few years away, she's having hers now. When he gets to his, in about five-ish years, he's going to be huge. He's going to be doing really, really well. So yeah, this is the one placement where I'm like, marriage might not be a good idea for these. Might not be a good idea for these two, because Lilith, which is that's like the divorce, the dark feminine energy. She's meeting up with Jupiter. That's not the best. It's not the end of the world. They have other really lovely placements, but marriage, not the best. Again, I want to know what house this is in, but I just thought I'd point it out. And this is their chart again for like in full view. I really do enjoy this chart. I know that there are some things which are difficult. Again, there's a marriage asteroid meeting up with Lilith, so the marriage asteroid and the divorce goddess Lilith meeting up here, like, that's not favorable. But if you look at their personal planets, and you'll see how cooperative they are with each other. Like the Venus on each other's north nodes, having a Saturn placed amongst their personal placements makes them very slow blooming, very understanding of each other. They're very introverted people. Even the polarity with her Capricorn, Sun and Mercury, and his Moon and Mars in Cancer. I know you'd think that it's counterintuitive to get these people together with opposite placements, but really sometimes when you get with someone who has squared or opposite placements, they have a full view of your blind spot. You know, my dad was a Capricorn, my mum was an Aries, and they worked together well because they covered each other's blind spots. Where one was weak, the other one was strong, and vice versa. And I like that about people with opposing placements. So just because, you know, you're interested in someone that might not have the most typical cooperative placements, it doesn't mean that they're wrong for you, just so you know. I mean, sure, there's going to be disagreements. Like, for example, Nicola is incredibly ambitious and very career focused. I'm sure he is as well, but she's more. She's a businesswoman. He's a sensitive artiste, and to a certain extent she is too, but she's a business bitch. She's been fighting her whole life to get here, and now she has it, and she's not going to squander this at all. He's like that sensitive. He's a sensitive stage actor. He's got that. He's a bit of a bleeding heart. I think he's a lot more sensitive than she is, actually. So, I mean, that's something that is could be that could cause a conflict, but in the end, they kind of balance each other out. So, yeah. If you guys ever find their birth times, and so we can make this a more thorough reading, that would be great. I'll make amendments. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about it because, yes, they did it. Yep, they did it. They've done something. He touched her titty. He did something. That's my assessment of it. That chemistry is real. The reason why it looks real is because it is real. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoy this, you can support me by purchasing a reading, which are currently 30% off the MP3s. Or you can tip me below. Or yeah, if you just want to like, subscribe, and comment, that would be great. I also have an Instagram, and you can follow me on there. And I do post content on there that I don't post on here. So thank you so much, and have a good day, and thank you for being patient with me because my voice sucks today. Okay, bye everyone.